in Amazon right now because, okay, everybody knows that, or people who have used Amazon, you have the Amazon Prime, which is supposed to cover the shipping. Now we know that's gone up in price. But then there's products that have additional shipping and handling onto the Amazon account, and they're not transparent about that. That's not actually broken out. So when you order Amazon stuff, I what happened was today, um, well, I had a payment declined for a product, and I'm wondering if that is the reason why. Because it has additional shipping and handling on it. Because I have an Amazon account. Well, let me go in here and look and see. And so customer service is giving us a big runaround. That giving me a big runaround anyway. And they do this every time. So to me, it's almost like Amazon doesn't have any customer service at all. So I get sent to, okay, so the first person says they're from Amazon. Hope you and your family are good. I will do my best to assist you. Oh, that's the other one. Okay, I was chatting with someone else. So it takes them about 2, 3, 4 minutes. So if you have any details you think that you would help the associate, type them here. While chatting, do not, if you do not respond in 2 minutes, the chat may be transferred to a different agent. But they told me to wait. So it says an associate will join the chat depending on the availability. This may take a while. We appreciate your patience. And so I'm asking, why is there a separate charge of over $5 on one item when I have a Amazon Prime account? Then they say, thank you for waiting. I've checked, and we have a specialized team to help with your order. Well, why couldn't the first customer service person do that? The first customer service person could have told me that they couldn't help me find out what's going on. And they did that the last time. They said they couldn't get into my account to see things. That's just what they were telling me. They couldn't see things. And so what they say, I request that you stay connected while I transfer this chat to the specialized team. Well, what is the additional specialized team? So someone else comes on now, and they say, I'm from Amazon Payment Support Team. Give me a couple minutes while I review your previous correspondent. Do not worry, I will definitely help you resolve the issue. I'm sorry that your payment was declined for the order. I'm sorry you had to deal with this, and thank you for getting in touch. Please don't worry. Well, um, what it is that you have an additional payment of shipping and handling in your Amazon Prime account. That's what's going on here. Because when I do a regular order, okay, when I look at my invoice for the regular order, there's 0 for shipping and handling and a small amount for tax. But this other order, okay, my order for tax is like, for a lot of items, is $2.87. Now, for this other item that's one item, the estimated tax is over $1, and there's a shipping and handling charge close to $6 for one item. So I'm wondering if it was a signal of some sort to let me know that the item that I ordered, um, had the additional. So this is what they're still doing. Let me check for you. Since you got me on the line, I'm here to do my best to have this sorted out for you. I actually don't even think that Amazon has customer service. I think all they've done is hired some people from foreign countries, and they're just looping people around, and they don't have access to your account. Because I'm thinking, with all the abuse that's taken place, why would you give jobs to people in another country on the internet, unless they themselves are utilizing the service? Because it's like, this is what I ask myself: would you want that to happen to you? Okay, so for example, here in the United States, I know myself, If I was a customer service agent, I want to do the best I can to actually help the people on the other end. And I don't want to sell their information to someone else. But that's what the people from the foreign islands have been doing. So they've been siphoning off and scraping. There you go. That's what they're doing. They're scraping off information of the American public because they have sent our personal information outside of the United States. They let the foreigners scrape it off and they sell it. That's the leak right there. That's the leak right there. So the foreigners from the foreign islands are, and what they call the Russian troll farms and the Asian troll farms, they are siphoning off and scraping our information. But, fortunately, it came up about the additional shipping and handling charge. I don't know if that's a tariff or they just added it on to make extra money and hope that it slipped through, because I did not authorize the additional payment. I just authorized for just the product, but it looks like the actual price of the product changed quite a bit higher as well. So it doesn't even look like the same product. Now they're still telling me thank you for waiting. I don't know, maybe I should just go on ahead and cancel it, because I think that's maybe what I'm going to do, is just cancel it. Because it shouldn't take them this long to look at customer service related to my Amazon account. And then they're just going to have me holding. Well, it's been almost 15 minutes now. But see, that's the problem when you send personal information outside of the United States. Well, they don't know what the rules are inside of the United States. Well, what happened is I have an order with Amazon, and it's not a food product. It's something that it was something else. But what they've done is they've added on shipping and handling additional. When I have an Amazon Prime account, they've added on shipping and handling on top of the Amazon Prime account. And I know that Whole Foods does this too. Whole Foods adds on, and plus they have the package shrinkage, so you get smaller amounts for a larger price, and then you're told that it's healthier for you. And so the grocery store Whole Foods, I don't even see how it's still in business. They have good food, that's for sure, but they actually are kind of a big ripoff. Their fresh food buffet bar that they had, it is good food, but it's very, very expensive. It's not in my budget. It says, in this case, I have manually updated the order from our end so your payment can be, they said they can manually do it. I'm going to ask them just to cancel the order, because, what I think maybe what I'm being notified is related to the extra shipping and handling. And that's something important for us to talk about as consumers, because Amazon is just a place that hides a whole bunch of additional charges. And I know that a lot of the shop people on YouTube are talking about that Amazon is forcing them to pay additional charges for things. They're going to pass it off, and they're putting it through the shipping and handling. That's what they're doing, is they're putting it through the shipping and handling to make extra money for their profits. I've seen this before. It's not the first time I've seen it. And I was aware that some products will not have are outside of Amazon Prime. This one didn't say it was outside of Amazon Prime. I'm just asking them to cancel the order, because the person on the other end told me that they could actually manually put the payment through. But I believe why it was canceled is because they may have added extra charges on within the transaction. That's what I'm thinking within the transaction, because I was given one price. I have an Amazon Prime account, and then now all of a sudden, extra charges show up in the midst of the transaction. So, now think of back in the day as well. So when you ordered something from a person, and so, well, think about. Oh, I'm going to just make up an example. Um, Say that you ordered some horseshoes from somewhere back in the day, and the horseshoes were $10. And so back in the day, though, what you did was either you sent a check or you sent money in the mail, or back in the day you could even order stuff. You could just order stuff. Um, Says, you're most welcome. We greatly appreciate your patience and kind understanding on this matter. I mean, I usually have a good outcome with Amazon. I'm not sure where I can provide feedback about this order. But let me go on with my analogy, though. Okay, so back in the day, we could order things and then we would pay. So they'd send it in the mail, and then you'd get your item, and then you would send a check. That's how it worked at first. And then they wanted payment, and then the customer would get the item. Well, a lot of customers in turn then were getting stiffed and not getting their items. So there's like a lack of trust between business that is in independent business and then the customers. There's a big lack of trust right now. And so anyway, okay, the thing says it's just $10 to order your horseshoes. So you order the horseshoes in the mail. Back in the day, it took 2 months maybe to get the horseshoes. So you get the horseshoes in the mail. Then you get an invoice statement that says you owe them $25 for the horseshoes. And you're thinking, well, wait a minute. I remember that the price said it was $10. It didn't say anything else about any additional charges in there. It just said the horseshoes were $10. Order them here. Fill out this form, order them, and you'll get your horseshoes. So the company sent you the horseshoes, but you've got a billing statement of $25. Well, that's when people get on the phone and they call up the customer service. They call up the customer service to find out what happened, because the shipping and handling, apparently, the shipping and handling and taxes is $15 more than the actual price of the item. So I think that's a good analogy, because okay, they canceled my order. Thanks. Yeah, I just had them cancel it because that's one of the things that came up. And so there's a lack of yes, we're so it must have been a flag or an alert that someone just tampered with, and it just decided in the middle of the transaction. Yes, they canceled my order. Thank goodness. I wanted to get the order, what they had, but I didn't know that this was going to happen, because it was actually, I kind of was suspicious because the price was lower. It was something that came up as suggested by Amazon. And so I thought, hey, I needed to order a few things. I'm going to add it in there. But I didn't know I was going to end up with all this trouble. And then come to find out, they've added additional shipping and handling in there on top of the order. And, so, I mean, nobody likes to be charged extra money in the midst of their transaction. But see, back in the day, that was a big problem, so with independent business or business at someplace else, it seems like that always happens, that the business doesn't trust the customer doesn't trust the business. because there's so many frauds and scams out of a lot of business because they keep hiking the prices up. And so they're hiking the prices up for their profits. I mean, they're basically price gouging is what they're doing. So when the private business does it year over year over year, they're causing the problem. Now, a lot of times the business will actually go out of business, and then people wonder why they have inflation and they can't afford to live any place, even though they used to own a business, and maybe they did some dirty deeds. Maybe they did some dirty deeds. Um, and so when they do that, or, so like in this instance, no wonder our private information is shared all over the place, because people who are in foreign countries, they don't care about our personal information. And the banks are actually extracting this information from the foreign call centers because that's how they get the information. That's how they get the information. So you hire people, you hire foreign call centers outside of the United States, and they are just selling, and if someone's that's how they're getting paid. That's how they're making money, but off of your personal information. That's how the leaks are taking place. I mean, the government might want to look into this. I would think that they would want to look into this related to Amazon, because that's a big breach of security right there. When you have people from outside of the United States who are customer service and they have access to that information, they have access to your address. There's really no reason for customer service in many instances to even have your address. I don't believe, because of the fact that if they have an order number, well, they're probably going to have access to your address. Now, so the thing is, it's like, well, why would I trust people from outside of the United States? Why would I trust them? Because they're giving away my personal information. Is the United States doing that, where there is places who are collecting data on people in foreign countries for the purposes of selling their information? Probably not. Probably not. Because your personal information in the United States is more valuable than you are. So they're, unfortunately, so if Americans are mad at people outside the United States, you're spamming. You guys are the problem. You're spamming people and you're stealing information, personal information, giving it to the banks and the advertisers for targeting, for specific targeting. That's what's going on. So if people are upset, that's why. That's interesting that one item is already removed out that fast. That was the problem, that's for sure. Because on my big order, there is no, it says 0 for shipping and handling. So they just added in extra shipping and handling in the midst of the transaction. That's what they did. In the middle of the transaction, for one item, they added on shipping and handling to make extra money. So what do you think about that scam? Anyone listening to this? What do you think about that scam? Now, I'm not so sure let me see here. I'm not sure okay, I should have, let's see. Let me go under canceled orders. Yeah, okay. That order has been canceled. Where was it coming from? Let me see if I can find any information where this product is from a small business brand. Well, Sold by. Okay, this company, it says it's the Made in the USA company. Oh, they do have a customer service telephone number. Oh my goodness. Uh, yeah, they have a customer service to get information about. It says they had refunds. It's in Texas, Stafford, Texas. Adamark's products is what they are under. And they added additional shipping onto their. Oh, see the bottle here, it says it's only 0.56 fluid ounces. That is deceptive, because the one that I ordered, it's actually said that it was 16 ounces. That was why I ordered it. So I would have been paying $15 for a 0.56 fluid ounce. That is deceptive. That is very deceptive. See how easily I was snookered into buying something when they put on the outside, they put that it was 16 ounces, and I thought, that's a really good price. And here the item is only 0.56 when I go in here. They were doing some deceptive practices right here. So, but they got it canceled, so. Now the feedback in here is lying about it. The people are putting their products as great, reasonably priced. They're just, these are just the people, the sheeple who just write stuff and say that a product is good because they're incentivized to do that. And so that's the Amazon Mechanical Turks. They just write positive reviews for products just to get them surfaced to the top. They probably didn't even order they probably haven't even used the product. I can't believe that. I just saw that. 0.56 fluid ounces. That is... That's messed up. That is messed up. I'm telling you that right now. And that can happen to anybody. Okay, it says the order has been canceled. Okay, let me look here. I want to, because, the thing I was finding that was kind of funny is this one was lumped in with all the other. It still says 16 ounces on the outside, but on the invoice it says 0.56 ounces. So there's a discrepancy with the ounces. That's what I'm seeing. There's a big discrepancy with how much it weighs, because I thought 16 ounces for that price seemed good. But then when I go in here to the orders and canceled, and then I tap on, okay, it says canceled. Oh, up here it says 0.56 fluid ounce. So there actually is two different prices. See, I didn't see this yesterday. I didn't see the delivery on here yesterday, so that's just been added on. And I didn't see the 0.56 fluid ounces either. So if it's only, I mean, the bottle looks big, but it's apparently the bottle is only 0.56 fluid ounces. So they've changed it. In the middle of the transaction, they changed it. That's what they did. They changed it. That's pretty deceptive. That you just change it in the middle. I mean, that's a deceptive practice. You're screwing people over right there. Okay, well, I'm ending this stream.